Well, good afternoon and welcome to Digital Wisdom Institute, where we use technology to honor God and serve the people around us. We started this with doing some AI training and cybersecurity and setting up ministry support for people to learn through our courses and consulting and building ourselves within the community. I want to thank you for taking the time out today to hear a little bit about what we're doing. And I found it interesting today as I was trying to determine how we could configure using AI to provide us with some reports. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that are able to build agents and create repeated processes to be able to make things easier. But what I find is that a lot of people are somewhat unfamiliar with the different tools and how they all work. So what I wanted to do today is to let you know that in our industry, technology is changing the world. And our mission is to be not only focused on an eternal process for this for the Lord, but also to realize that as we get older as professionals and working with technology like cameras and computers, we need to realize that we can experience a lot of wisdom and purpose with that by spending time in it. And I'm going to say 15 to 20 minutes a day. Learn a new skill in AI, ask some questions, but be careful though, because a lot of these programs, while they say they're free, burn up what they call tokens, which means that for every question that you ask, you get a tick, and each of those ticks costs money. Now, for the ones that are being used for free, what they're doing is they're gathering information that you're using it for, and they're placing it in their little data bank. Well, you can call it whatever you want, but what they're doing is they're building their database based upon the things that you ask, whether you ask for a logo to be designed or a website to be designed, or you create a call to action through some process or whatever. AI are the AI tools, and I could name a group of them off. I use quite a few of them. There's even, well, let me rephrase that. Well, let me go backwards a little bit. Sometimes when you call a company now, they use an AI to answer the phone. And sometimes they will tell you that they are an AI prompter. Sometimes they won't. The ones that do allow you to get real negative right up front, going, oh my gosh, and they start asking you questions. And even if you ask for someone that's real, a live person to speak with, they try to turn it around on you and make suggestions about, before I do this, please help me understand what you want. And you can get as mad as you want, you can yell at it, do whatever you want. It really doesn't care. But some of them I've found that when you ask for a real person, they will say, please hold, let me connect you with a live person. And I'll just use that as a terminology. Some of them become so repetitive that they won't even go to the next step until you answer a question. Like, why are you calling? How can I help you? What is your need today? Those questions are pretty basic. That's usually what the person answering the phone is going to ask you to anyway. And even if you give AI the information that they're asking for, they're not going to share that information with the person that's actually going to answer the phone. They're just trying to get you to give them the ability to make you think that if they don't do their job, that the money that the people or the company spent to make this stuff work is useless, is pointless. One, it is not a human being. Two, it is not relational. Three, it is not trying to build you a client base. It is trying to justify the money that was spent by someone like myself to build a front end or a back end or a middle one, whichever it may be, depending upon the situation or the need, and develop a process where it will come back and create a report for the executives or the managers or even the person doing the work to let them know what they said, what was said, how you responded, and exactly what was going on within the conversation. Now, I know there are some companies that do send you a script of what was said. AI is not necessarily doing that at this point, at least not 100%. So you have to be kind of careful what you say and how much you say, just like you would to anyone else that you're talking to. Now, I won't say be afraid of doing that, but I will recommend this. Technology in this arena is a tool for us, but we have to have the faith in our foundation that people are our purpose. Remember me saying that. People are our purpose. We're trying to build relationships no matter what interest sparks you, no matter whether it's sharing information or running a YouTube or Facebook account or playing before people a sermon in a church or building an Excel spreadsheet that's totally automated by the time you walk in the morning and have your first sip of coffee. It's sitting on your desk waiting for you to open it up and read it. But remember this, if you're not willing to step in, then you're going to be left out. What do I mean when I say that? I mean that learning AI, and that's a mixed word to say, is helping you become more knowledgeable of what is being put into the marketplace right now and how people are using it. You know, I used the term the other day that AI is like the gold rush in California, where everyone rushed to California to be rich and win big with gold. The problem is that you needed a shovel, you needed a pick, you needed a pen, and you needed to be able to get this stuff to wherever you're going to go and try to find gold. Well, the problem that we didn't realize during that time, and I know a lot of people understand that now, is the people that were selling this stuff, those were the ones that were making the money. And it was rare and far and fetched between if someone actually would find gold before going completely broke and either working for somebody else as a slave, and I don't really want to use that word slave. They weren't slaves. They were just having to become workers for someone else because they couldn't go back home. They couldn't afford to leave. And the things that belonged to them were now having to be sold just to put a piece of bread in their mouth and then a cup of water in front of them. But I digress back to this, is that in this arena where technology is changing the world moment by moment, minute by minute, second by second, we need to be willing to take the time to have someone like Digital Wisdom Institute set up a program, come to you, and help train individuals, families, churches, businesses, organizations, whoever is in need of learning AI. Now, let me say this. Just like anyone else, there's always someone that's a wannabe. They can fix and do anything. But the problem is that they don't have the skills yet to be able to perform the things that they believe that they can do. And I can assure you of this, AI cannot solve everything. AI cannot do everything. AI cannot replace us. It can only help us. You've got to be smart enough to come to the point to where you realize that. And while it's interesting and intriguing and fun right now, it's not necessarily the catch-all for you doing your job or talking to real people or solving problems before you go to AI to ask for an answer. And even if you do ask for an answer, my thought to you would be grab another AI tool and ask it the same question and see if you get the same answer. I highly think that you probably won't get the same answer. And if you do, it'll be tweaked a little bit. It'll be tweaked to the point to where it's making you rethink your question. It may even cause you to rethink why you even asked the question or how you answered it. But anyway, I want to thank you for coming. I want to thank you for spending the time here. Please share this information with those around you. And if anything, visit our site. I haven't posted it on the bottom of this page yet, but you shouldn't have any problems going to digitalwisdominstitute.org. It is here. I can point to, I got to point to, look at that. I can't, look at that. No, anyway, it's right here. It's right here on this side of the screen. Look at that. I got to point my head. Look at that. I'm crazy. I'm a bobblehead. Looky, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day. Take the time to visit us, read what we're doing, get involved. If you're more concerned or more desirable to want to join us and partner with us and help us build what we're doing for others, because maybe you don't have the time or you'd like to be a part of something that's bigger than maybe what you're working on now. But anyway, thank you so much for taking the time. Again, I'm kind of repeating myself, and do everything that you can to help us help you. Thank you so much for doing this with us, and I hope this helps.